Okay, heading today, place value on ordering numbers. I want you to hit pause in a second, copy the heading, lesson objective and keywords down, then write starter on the line, and when you're ready, hit play and we'll move on to the starter. Okay, so here's our starter. Hit pause, have a go. When you're done, hit play and we'll go through these together. Okay, 1A, what have we got? 265. And if you're unsure, use the hint here. 2 is in the hundreds column, 6 is in the tens, and 5 is in the units. The next one, that's going to be in the thousand column there, so it's 2000. Four hundreds, 10 and 8. So 2,418. Question number 3, what have we got there? Again, we've got 1,000, 100, tens and units. So we got 8,000. No hundreds, no tens, so it's just 8,009. On number 4, we got 7,000, no hundreds, 2 in the tens column, so that's 20, and a 6 in the units column. So that's going to be 7,000. And 26. Because we don't have anything in the hundreds column. This is an even bigger number, the biggest number of the lot. Okay, so we got tens of thousands here. Thousands, hundreds, tens and units. So we've got tens of thousands, so it's 24,000. $638. Takes a while to write these out. Okay, question 2. Be a lot quicker writing them out. We can just read what we see. 39, 486, 902. Okay, so then there's nothing in the tens column, so 902. But we've got to make sure we put our 0 there. 3,157. And we just write what we see. 3,157. 8,506. So there's nothing in the tens column. 8,500. No tens and 6. And the last one is 5,040. Okay, so 5,000, no hundreds, and 40. Okay, so mark your work, make corrections. Rag. Once you've done with that, hit play again, and we'll move on to place value. So place value. In order to use place value, we're going to look at our denary system, and that denary system is very powerful. All we need are these 10 digits going from 0 to 9, and we can write any number, no matter how big or small. It comes from the Hindu Arabic system of numbering. So what we've got here, we've got our columns where we're going to put our numbers. First number we look at is this one here. So we're starting in the tens of thousands column, and we're going all the way down to the thousands column. Okay, how would we say that number? What do we think? Well, hopefully you said 48,475.4 429. Okay, and if we look, first one, the value of that number is 40,000. The value of the 4 here in the hundreds column, so that's going to be 400. The value of this 4, we're looking at all the 4s, is a tenth. So that's a tenths column, so 4 out of 10. It's another number now. How would we say this number? Hopefully you said 55,750.122. If you look at a couple of the numbers, 5 is in the thousands column, so 5,000. Another 5, the value will be 50, and the value of the 2 here in the hundredths column, so 2 hundredths. One more number. What do we think? How do we say this number here? 19,986.641. We look at value of numbers here. That's in the units column, so its value is 6. And in our thousands column, we've got a 1 here, so 1,000. Okay. So let's have a look at ordering some numbers then. Right, so we're going to look at ordering these decimal numbers. Now it's a recap, and I'm sure you can you could do these. Okay, which is biggest, which is smallest. Let's actually look at the value of these numbers in a grid. So if we take the first one, 2.345, okay, you've got 2 whole numbers, and in this column here I've got 3 tenths. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3 tenths. Then in the next column I got 4 hundredths, and in my final column I got 5 tenths. So let's sketch the next one. I've got 2 wholes again and 8 tenths. I've got nothing in these other grids, and for my final number I've got 2 wholes, and then I've got 6 tenths and 9 hundredths. Okay, so which is the biggest number out of these 3? Well, my 2 whole numbers, you start from the left and we move on to the right, are exactly the same. So I now need to look in my tenths column here, which is the larger number, and straight away I can see that it's going to be this one here. So 2.8 is the larger, got more in that grid, then 2.69, and finally 2.345. So that's how we look at the numbers then, largest to smallest. We don't always have a grid, so what we're going to look at now is numbers without a grid. Okay, so in this question here it says put the following numbers in ascending order. Ascending, smallest first. Okay, so they're all decimals, they have no whole number value. So we look at the first column, our tenths column. Okay, we got 0.7, 0.5, 0.5 and 0.4. So you got 7, 5, 5 and 4. The smallest is going to be the 0.467. Okay, that's gone. Then we look at the next column. Now because we've looked at the tenths column and these two are 5, look at the next column, the hundredths column. Okay, and one is 7 and one is 6, so the 6 is smaller, so that's the next value. If we look at the tens column again, 0.7 and 0.5, so the 0.573, and our largest number is 0.756. Okay. Let's have a look at another example. So if we have a look at this example here, again we're going to put the numbers in ascending order, smallest first. The issue we have with smallest to largest is that they're not all the same length. This is 0.56, this is 0.067, so that's got 3 digits after the decimal. 0.6, only 1, 0.65, 0.605, and then 1.01. In this case, another method you can use is to list them and give them the same number of digits after the decimal. So we've got 0.56 here. I'm going to write this down. 0.56, 0.067, 0.6, 0.65, 0.605, and then we got 1.01. Okay, so we're looking for the smallest first. Now some of them have got 3 digits after decimal, so we can put a 0 in to fill the others out. So we've got the same number of digits after the decimal. Now we can check. We look down this first column here, and they're all zeros apart from the last one. So that's clearly our largest number. Then we look down the next column, and we've got 5, 0 and 6s. So our smallest number is this one here, 0.06, it's 0.067. So we can write that here, 0.067, and we can cross it out because we've now used that number. Then we look at our tens column again, tenths column rather, again. We've got all 6s, we're ignoring this one because that's our largest number, and there's a 5. So that's our next smallest number, 0.560. Okay, now we've got 3 digits with a 6 in the tenths column. So we check the next column over. This has got a 5, so that's the largest one. The other two have got zeros in. So we check the thousandths column, and that's got a 0 in there. So that's going to be our next smallest number, 0.600. And then we've got 2 numbers with the 6 in the tenths column. This has got a 5 and this has got a 0, so it's our next smallest number, 0.605. 0.65 is our next number, and our largest number, which we said from the start, is 1.010. So we can leave it like that, or we can reduce it back to what we started with, which was 0.067. Then we had 0.56 without the 0. Then we had 0.6, 0.605, 0.65. In fact, there was a 0 there. And our largest number, 0.01. We don't need the 0. So what I want you to do now is to hit pause, copy this one as an example. Once you're done, hit play, and we'll move on. Okay, so in this example, we got put the numbers in ascending order again, smallest first. Always read the instructions. We got 3 holes in each of them. So we check our tenths column. They're all zeros. So we check the next one, which is our hundredths column. And 3 of them have got 0 in there, but this one has got a 1 in there. So that's our biggest number. Okay, we can take that out, leave it as our largest number, and then we look at the next column. Okay, so we're checking then our thousandths column. We've got a 5, a 3, and a 4. So our 3 is the smallest. So that's our smallest number. And then with the next 2, that's got a 4 in there. That's got a 5. And so that's our numbers in order. Okay, so I want you to copy this example. Once you're done, I've got some classwork for you. So classwork, I want you to work from question 3 to question 15. On this first one, question 3, we're using the grid, which represent a whole number. On this first one here, as an example, you got 1, 2, 3 tenths shaded in, so that's 0.3. On part B, you've got 300ths shaded in, so that's 0.03. And on part C, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths and 6 hundredths. So that should be 0.56. It's interesting. That's wrong. It should be 0.56 there. Right, off you go. Good luck.